Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be making my favorite applesauce. Alright guys, we're in our kitchen right now. My wife is over here right now at the sink.
I am washing all the jars. These have been sitting in storage. The number one thing you have to remember about canning is your food is only as clean as your kitchen. So make sure everything you're going to be using is clean. Your countertops, your equipment, your jars. I do not have to sterilize these jars. If you're going to be processing them for over 10 minutes, you do not have to sterilize them first, but they still do need to be clean, hot soapy water. So almost done. We're going to be doing half a bushel of apples to start with, which should be around 7 quarts of applesauce, roughly. First step, like I was just saying, make sure everything is clean, and that includes your apples. So I'm going to go and wash all of these apples. So I've got my big stock pot here, and I'm going to do these in batches, kind of, just because I have limited space. So I've got my apple peeler. Bought this several years ago, I think at Bed Bath & Beyond. Probably ought to have a big bowl for your scrap pile. What I do is just give them a rough chop, kind of help get them going. Matt prefers a chunky applesauce, so I'm not able to do the kind where you do a food mill and use every little bit of it. I kind of have to go the harder route. It takes a little more time. I'm going to put about a half cup of water in the bottom of that pot so that the apples don't stick. Now get them going. You just keep doing this. Once I get this first load all chopped in there, I'll go ahead and get it started and get those softening up while I wash and start the second batch. Kind of helps make things go a little faster. You see, like on this one, where my little tool didn't get all the peel, doesn't matter, just leave it in the pot. Apple peels contain pectin, so that'll actually help thicken up our sauce a little bit. That little tiny bit you won't be able to notice, and it'll all cook down. finished that first bowl that I washed. Now I'm going to put these on the stove. Probably on about a 3, like medium low, 2 maybe. This oven's pretty hot. And let those start cooking down while I wash up some more. Once I get that batch done, I'll just add them in, just periodically stopping to stir. And that's it. Here's that first batch of cut apples. They're already softening up just a little bit. Here's the second batch of peeled and diced apples. Mix. On to batch number 3. That's it. That's the last of the apples. Thank goodness.
Can you spell the apples?
One bag of them. And I will remind you guys, the apples are very acidic. So make sure as soon as you're done, you come through and clean your countertops so that you don't get any damage. You don't want it to eat away your nice counters. Alright, now that all my apples are in here, I'm going to edge up the heat just a tiny bit. Remember, apples have a lot of sugar, so you really got to keep an eye on it. Make sure they don't burn. If you can see, Matt, I don't know if you can bring it from here, but when I pull it up from the bottom, like right there, you can see they're already starting to mush up pretty good. That one's all saucy. So while this is getting going, I'm going to start the canner. What I'm going to do is fill it with hot water and get it heating up over here on the stove. I've got my water bath canner here. It's filled about to, I don't know, here or so with hot water. I've got this on about a medium heat, just starting to warm up because it's going to take that applesauce a little while, but it's also going to take that much water a while to get to boiling. So we'll just get it started. Once our applesauce gets to the consistency we want, that's when we'll be adding a little bit of lemon juice, some sugar, and a little bit of cinnamon, all of which to taste. I'm not a canning expert. I am going by I think it's the Center for National Institute for Home Canning or something. I'll have Matt link it in the description. Their instructions that it's a safe, approved recipe. Always use one of those for canning. It's not worth the risk. Botulism isn't very fun. So yeah, now we wait. Keep stirring this applesauce. Starting to cook down a little bit faster now. You can see lots of mush. Make sure you have a good and sturdy spatula because I've broken several of them by doing this. Let that go for another few minutes, stir it up, and keep an eye on it. We're getting there. You can see you're starting to get some sauce coming up from the bottom. See it right in there? Getting closer. These apples are getting there. I'm using an immersion blender just to help them along just a little bit. They're soft. I'm just helping them break down. I'm just using the low setting on mine. It's just a cheap one. I think I got it at Target, I don't know, a lot of years ago. But it does the job. Okay. Now before I finish blending it up, we're going to add some cinnamon and brown sugar and a little bit of lemon juice. I think Matt tends to like his a little bit sweeter than I like mine, so I guess I'll let him be the tester for the sugar. I do like a good amount of cinnamon though. As you can see in there, it's bubbling to a boil. I'm just eyeballing all of these measurements. I'm not using any set. Using my spatula to get that in there. Smelling good. Smells like apple pie.
Except for the burning sensation, 5 stars.
A little bit hot. Alright, so you can see there's still some chunks, but for the most part it's pretty applesaucey. Alright, this is at a boil, so we're good here. If it wasn't after you added everything, you'd want to bring it back up to a boil, but we're good here. Looks like a little piece of seed in there. Now we're going to get ready for canning. We need to heat up our jars. These are hot pack. If we put this boiling hot applesauce into a cold jar, your jar is more than likely going to shatter. I don't really want to do that, so what I do, just come over to the sink, let it get to nice hot tap water, and just kind of swirl it around in the jar. I found that works just fine. If you remember, we washed these really well earlier in hot soapy water, so they're nice and clean. Just do 2 for now to show you how I do it. I'm letting those heat up a little bit. I have my canning funnel, which is wide, and a ladle. I'm going to dump out this hot water. Bring this jar over here. Put this in and start filling it. Applesauce needs 1 inch of headspace, which is usually about just under that that rim there on the jar. It's a good way to tell. Here we go. Good. We'll get the next jar and we'll just keep doing this, heating up some jars, filling them up, and we'll come back when they're all filled, ready for the next step. Alright, so my pot here ended up making a little over 8 quarts, so I just put the rest in a plastic container. It'll go in the fridge for eating fresh. Next step here is to clean off all of the food around the rims. To do that, I just take a little bit of just plain white vinegar on a paper towel and go around the rim of each lid. That just really makes sure it cleans, so you get a nice tight seal. Now I've prepared my lids according to the directions on the package. With the newer lids, you don't have to simmer them. I know back before you used to have to, now you don't. So all you do is take the lid and center it. And you want to put these on finger tight. I got this handy little thing from Ball, and it helps. It's got little grippies on it. I'll show you the perfect amount. So once I get all the lids on, I will come back and show you what to do next. Alright, I removed the air bubbles and put all my lids on. Everything's ready. This is obviously very hot. I'm just going to put all my jars. I believe this canner holds all 7, hopefully. If not, then one will go in the fridge. It'll be fine. Alright, there they all go. As you can see, there's a good bit of water, a good inch above above my jars in there. That's what you want. It's coming back to a boil already. Once it gets to a full rolling boil, that's when we start our timer. For our altitude, we are above 1,000 feet here. We need 25 minutes for these quart-sized jars. I'm going to put the lid back on to let it heat up just a little bit faster. Once it gets that rolling boil, then we'll start 25-minute timer. Okay, it's been in a rolling boil for 25 minutes, so all I'm going to do now is cut the heat, set this timer for, I don't know, 5 minutes, and walk away. It's just going to let that cool down a little bit, let things settle. It's kind of just a safety thing more than anything else. Be back to you in 5 minutes. Okay, that's been sitting for a couple minutes. Carefully take the lid off, always point it away from you because this is still very hot. Lay down a towel. You don't want to put it straight on your countertops because your jars will crack. And then carefully start taking them out. These are extremely hot. They're heavy. Just be very careful. Okay. There we are. I'm going to just carefully take this towel and lay it on top. I'm not going to put any pressure on it. I'm not going to push or anything like that. It's just kind of to get that water off the top of those lids. No pressure at all, because we don't want to push those in. Right. Now these need to sit here and cool for 12 to 24 hours. Then we'll check all the seals, make sure they've sealed. If they haven't, we'll put them right in the fridge and just eat them within the next couple of days. If they're all sealed, we'll take the rings off. You do not store your cans with the rings on. Wash the jars down, make sure there's no food residue that got under there. Put a label on them and that'll be it. So that's all I've got.
Alright guys, that's all we have today. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you guys had fun and you learned something. Hope to see you guys in the next video. Like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Share this video, and we'll see you next time.